I feel like Joe Flores is a bit of an advocate for me. I feel like Joe Flores really understands my perspective. I want to read his comment as he provides insight for me on a video I made called "I am a Castizo, not a Mestizo, since a quarter Mexican is not a real thing." Here's what he commented, quote, "Nick, thanks. These are ranks designed by the Iberians, Spanish/Portuguese, so that they would not lose their identity in the world. Social ladder of ethnicity. If you were Iberian descent, you were of the utmost respect and importance, and if you were Iberian descent and born outside of the Iberian Peninsula, you are Criollo. If you are of Native American and African, which I am, depends on the percentage of these ethnicity you would be ranked on the social ladder. If you were Native American, you're a slave, and if you were black, a slave, or both, you're a slave," end quote. So I want to explore this concept more. You know, I learn a lot from making these videos. Imagine for a moment, let me take off my hat, even though I just put it on, but symbolically, let me take off my hat of being a guy who talks about DNA test results. Imagine me as just a guy who makes videos and posted a video about my DNA test results and everyone watched it, and then I felt obligated to make more videos, and now people kind of treat me like I'm supposed to be an expert and I'm not. And so I learned so much. One of the things I learned so much from doing these videos, and something I can really appreciate, is that I understand that I present information as an American, and so many people have a different perspective because they're not American. So, you know, it's just like, and you all know, I mean, with my mom and I, until I started making videos, I never knew that my mom couldn't be half Mexican, that she has to identify as Castizo instead. But the fact that that's such news to us, and that she's turning 60 next month and had never heard that she can't be half Mexican because Mexican's an ethnicity and not an ethnicity. So she never heard that her whole life. And it's not like she lived in one place. She grew up in Buffalo, New York, then moved down to the South. No one ever said that to her. And I think that fact reminds us that perhaps this whole Castizo, Mestizo thing isn't an American thing. Americans, at least in my personal experience, apparently Americans are oblivious and apathetic, because to us, we can comfortably say half Mexican, a quarter Mexican, and it's fine. It's only when an international audience hears me say half Mexican or a quarter Mexican that then we have to change our language. And so this comment makes a lot of sense to me, because all this talk about Castizo and Mestizo, if it's not an American concept, if it's more of a European, Iberian concept, and it was a way to label certain people as being less Iberian, now it suddenly makes a lot more sense. And here's how I feel. I feel that people who are from Spain, I just feel that they look down on me as I make these videos. And I've said it so many times, but I never feel accepted. And I'm just being honest, I'm sharing my heart with you, okay? I feel, as an American who, you know, is nearly a third Iberian descent, I feel that I can't be simply accepted by people from Spain. I think the only way I can find favor with people from Spain is to learn to speak Spanish and then go travel to Spain, make videos about how much I love Spain, do lots of Instagram pictures about Spain, basically just promote Spain in a wonderful way and speak the language and memorize a map of Spain and Europe. And then finally I'll find favor with people in Spain. So this whole, that's why this comment really rings true to me when it's talking about, as Joe said, these ranks are designed by the Iberians so they wouldn't lose their identity in the world, the social ladder of ethnicity. If there's any truth in that, it's lost on me, because as an American, I celebrate all the ethnic parts of me, all the different. I celebrate them equally And I mean, hey, I'm 1% African. I celebrate that as much as I celebrate being 21.6% Native American via Mexico. As everything else, I celebrate it equal, even though I'm more parts than other thing. Because for me, it's all about that collection, this kaleidoscope. And for me, there's no favoritism toward any part of my ethnic background. It's all part of that, and I celebrate that as a whole. But I definitely feel judged by people from Spain that watch my videos. I don't feel that I can be accepted unless, again, I learn to speak Spanish, I go travel to Spain, I talk great things about Spain. But I don't feel that any other part of my ethnic background that I have to earn favor from that part of the world. I never feel like I have to gain favor from people in Mexico or in Germany or in Eastern Europe, or even people who are Jewish, because my mom is 15.2%. I never feel like I have to earn any merit or favor as they watch my videos. But I consistently feel that way about people from Spain. And I know it's easy because I talk about it and because I keep yearning for someone, just one person from Spain to accept me as I am. And I continue to wait. And each time I mention it, instead of just one person saying, Nick, I accept you as you are. I'm from Spain and I like you. And if you never visit Spain and never speak Spanish, I still like you, Nick. I have yet to receive even one comment. But instead, when I bring it up, I get further judged. I get further told that I'm an ignorant American that needs to travel Spain and learn Spanish. No other part of the world has treated me that way based on my background that matches that modern day nation. So as an American who's nearly a third Iberian descent, I feel judged. I feel judged by Iberian Peninsula. I'm being honest with you. No other part of my DNA where people are make me feel that way, only the Iberian Peninsula. So that's why I just keep seeing so much truth in this comment, that it's so important to people who are in Spain, modern day Spain, that they keep control of who's truly the real deal, who's truly Spanish. You have to love Spain, you have to speak Spanish, you have to speak praises of Spain, and ultimately you have to, in some ways, look down on people who are not as Spanish as you. So I'm never going to fully amount to the glory of someone who's Spaniard, even though a third of my DNA goes back there. Because again, I'm an American, I'm a lowly American who doesn't understand a European map, and I don't speak Spanish. And I guess I just can't relate to that, because as an American, I welcome immigrants to America, and I don't care where they came from, and I don't even care how good their English is. If an immigrant, a foreigner, comes to America in broken English and has to even use sign language to try to ask me where the bathroom is, or I will take them myself there. I would not look down on them at all. So I just feel my perspective is a lot different than people who watch my videos in Spain. And I know it's easy to think, well, Nick, you're kind of poking them with a stick here on this. You keep egging them on by talking about how they call you an ignorant American. What do you expect, Nick? Well, I just continue. This is amazing to me. For months now, I've said, hint, hint, will one person from Spain just treat me with respect and show me that I don't have to earn favor or respect from them by speaking Spain or visiting Europe? Can you not just accept me as I am and say I like you anyway, Nick? I keep saying, hint, hint, just one person, just one person. Instead, what do I get? People continue to say I'm ignorant, which I don't feel insulted by that. My level of confidence is not based on what someone on the internet says about me, but I think it's creating a reputation and a pattern from people who watch my videos in Spain compared to the rest of the world. I feel accepted by the rest of the world. I feel that the rest of the world doesn't say, Nick, you say that you're part Jewish, well, you need to learn to speak Hebrew. And Nick, your grandma was Mexican. Well, you've never actually been to Mexico, so you're not really a true, you can't be proud to be part Mexican. And I don't get that treatment from anybody else. So it's such a social experiment. But again, I have to agree with Joe right now in this moment until someone can prove me wrong. that it just feels that Iberia has created this social ladder of ethnicity, and they look down on people who culturally and ethnically aren't the same amount of them. I feel judged. I don't feel accepted. I want to be proved wrong. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait.